Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes. Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness. Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you?
Get your copy of the Strand here.
From Cordon.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson.
Cool, now I can take the day off.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings.
Oh, hello.
Come now,
Get the
Mr.
Strand.
Holmes. Murder?
Get your copy of
Yes,
the
Hans
Strand
has his
here.
quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
No, really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. The finest view London has to offer. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
So, answer's a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. So, answer's a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, answer's a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, answer's a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin?
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn, one way or another.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see... Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper. Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best...
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come. Not much further now.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the Inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint. Why are you still here?
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
A scrap of Hessian.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. A small Navy spyglass. A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly? Is this a Taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
No air coming through it. Bottom chops, the remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
No air coming through it. 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 Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? No air coming through it. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. Coming through it. Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else? This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden. Looks like a knee print. Chewing tobacco. Chewing tobacco. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book. Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No. The man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco. Where on earth are you going with this?
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimahir and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. Are you joking? Why would I know this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create... Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahia's cart, I gather. Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man? A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done. A large pile of horse droppings. Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night. The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there. Where to, Gup? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor after that.
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer, placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued?
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimahir? Is this familiar to you?
I think I can help you.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Could you help me?
I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry. I know nothing.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Are you able to help me?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Do you know anything about this?
You're lucky to find me.
Excuse me, just one question.
It is a shame I can't answer your question.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy...
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the 4th person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
Now, where was I?
Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there?
That boat explosion stopped most traffic coming into the port. Guess I'll be without work for a while.
Moskva. Sounds like this ship was from the east.
My money is on a loose cigarette or a discarded match. One careless throw, and
Why people are going missing? Puts a man on edge, you know. I could do with a pint of the Cursed Mermaid, with the thought of walking in this fog. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is.
it appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them. For staying at home.
Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the, shrine. I tried to sell it to buy medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
Don't go anywhere.
What are you gawping at?
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Girves, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to... walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is. I need a little Dutch courage to walk in this fog. But I'd have to walk through the fog to get to the pub. That's just cruel, that is.
It's a large harbour. If our kidnapper reside here, finding him won't be easy.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in the smoke so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick. I'm sorry about my English.
May I ask for your assistance?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Help me, please.
Ugh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Are you able to help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
May I ask for your assistance?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir. I never heard of it.
Planks were broken with force.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
May I ask you something?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Are you able to help me?
No, sorry. I know nothing.
Help me, please.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
As much as I'd like to... Well, yeah, I know nothing about this.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
What can I get you?
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout, with a silver ball in place of a missing eye. Doesn't look like anything to me. Never heard of it. Have you been drinking? Never heard of it. Have you been drinking?
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the pool.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Your clothes are already tight, and soon they won't fit at all. How far along you?
I thought I'd hidden it better. How did you know? Are you a doctor?
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
I shuddered.
He likely... Might.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier, next to the dockyard. After the incident the other day, it seems customers are staying at home.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Can I ask you a question?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though. Boulder Dash. Sorry.
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London.
What? Boulder Dash. Sorry. And sorry.
Mr.
And how...
Mr. A man...
What? Boulder... So...
Mr. Soulsby...
And how... So...
A man...
What? Really? Boulder... So...
Mr... A man...
What? Boulder... So...
A man...
What?
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be...
It's true. And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems. I did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to his business in the warehouse area. Just that. On my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall. But I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He is a regular at the Cursed Mermaid. goes there with his crew almost every evening.
What for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
Why do I have the feeling...
I have...
Enough.
I'm not so...
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here.
All I know...
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
Nothing of the sort, but that doesn't mean that there won't be consequences for your silence. Everyone knows you happily served Summers and his crew. Should the police come knocking, you'll be the... Now, spare yourself the trouble.
Okay. Summers hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key, go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
Strange symbols. I don't recognize them. £5. That won't go far. £5. That won't go far. £5. That won't go far. What did you see of Summers' work here? He was recruiting people?
It was like the whole world came through my door. People of all creeds and colours, but always strong, always tall. They seemed like workers, or journeymen. Beyond that, there's not much more to tell. I took his money and let him be.
And this lasted how long?
Several weeks, I wager. The people here are resilient. tomorrow it'll all be forgotten.
Really, Holmes, this ought to be beneath you.
As my brother would say, it is for the greater good. The layers of rust will prevent any movement. This crank saw some use. Fit for a crank. Well oiled and well maintained. It's stuck. No one's used it in a very long time. I can't do it with my bare hands. It's stuck. No one's used it in a very long time. Good quality, but torn in many spots. Mold. That's why you don't leave sailcloth lying out. The scratches are fresh, left by something metallic. There are a couple of marks on this end. Layers of rust will prevent any movement.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
A hidden passage. Just as I expected. Wait here, Watson, and keep an eye on the doors. I'll scout the premises.
Will do. Be careful down there.
Wait. What's happening? What is this place? Where am I? Strangely cold. Something is missing. This cannot have been under the port of London all along. Is it an illusion? The only way forward is the abyss. The only way forward is the abyss. Phew, I didn't die. It is icy cold and pulsating. My heart, be calm. somewhere else. How? It's harder to breathe here. What is that? It's like it stares right through me. 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 head is already spinning. When will this end? There are 2 recesses. My head. What just happened? There are 2 recesses. Oh, that is truly revolting. Frozen and pulsing, almost like it has a heart. Stench. A strange stone. It almost feels alive. Did I get out?
John?
What is it, Holmes?
Watson!
Holmes, where are you? Holmes? Holmes? Are you all right?
Fine. Watson, I'm fine, thank you for asking.
Fine? By Jove, you should have heard the way you called out my name.
It was just a game of shadows.
I'm glad. This place gives me the chills. What are we dealing with?
Something that's finally interesting. His abdomen is severely bloated. Cyanosis of the lips, marks on the neck. This man was strangled. At least 24 pendants, all identical and made of tin. Someone got their hands dirty painting this with blood. Someone got their hands dirty painting this with blood. An American passport. Amos Colby. At least 24 pendants, all identical and made of tin. Old blood stains. I've never seen a pattern like this before. It seems made for simple experiments. I wager they could not afford a better set. This box contained a narcotic substance, much like the one in Kimihira's brazier. Black Edelweiss Institute established 17-something. deep scratches left in a frenzy. A small bloodstain, but not serious. The strength it would take to carry this crate, let alone break it. Oh, potent. This sensor has more narcotic residues. Oh, potent. This sensor has more miserable food, mass-produced. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. Dumpra, a staple of lecturemen's attire in Nepal, gathered from dozens of people at the very least. Who are these people? I must have seen this one before. That explains my hallucinations. Did you hear that, Watson?
I hear you.
These clothes were crudely cut off someone. An American, judging by the style. Someone used mud to draw a cross in a rectangle. Why? Fine rope work, cut by a finer blade.
Holmes, are you sure you've left no stone unturned?
Looks like the scribbling of madmen. Many people were brought to this place. Their abductors stripped off their clothes and discarded them in a pile. The prisoners were kept in a soporific trance by the use of narcotics. A few tried to resist, but alas, in vain. After a few days, everyone was stuffed in a crate and sent elsewhere. Only one captive was left behind. He was strangled to death on this altar.
What the hell is happening, Holmes?
Calm yourself. Cannot be.
What is it? Oh my God. Please tell me we found all we needed to, Holmes.
I think we found a bit more than that.
Yet we have no clue as to where those people have been taken.
And that's where you're wrong, Watson. We have more than enough. I just need to connect the dots. How about you pack your suitcase in the meantime, my dear fellow? Just in case.
Dr. Watson, how does a trip to Switzerland sound to you?
It sounds unexpected. What makes you think we should head there?
It's all about the box with narcotics and Mr. Colby's clue, the cross inside a rectangle. Put two and two together, add a dash of research, and what do you get? The Black Edelweiss Institute in Interlaken, Switzerland. If we hurry, we can still catch tonight's train. As grateful as I have been for your company, Dr. Watson, I'm afraid you shall have to investigate Edelweiss alone.
Hello? Mr. Holmes, I fear you overestimate my abilities.
Nonsense. You are a military man, a bastion of British courage.
I'm no such thing. As a doctor, I avoided most combat, save for one dreadful day. My troop was ambushed in a village with innocents caught in the crossfire. Too many to help.
The man with the rosary. He was one of them?
A translator, yes. We were trapped. 6 soldiers and myself. I thought it was the end. But Lieutenant Paget refused to go quietly. The men prepared for a final stand. I rose to follow, but Paget shook his head. He told me to run. That I had other men to save. They charged, and I fled through the rear. So you see, Mr. Holmes, I am a coward.
The logic seems inescapable.
Yes.
You, a surgeon by trade, would have been perfectly useless in that conflict.
What? No.
And how many men have you helped since? Ailments eased, troubles tended?
No more than a handful. Truth be told, I have become somewhat of a recluse.
How many people could you help with 30 years ahead of you? Dozens? Hundreds? Paget was correct. You can cease your self-recrimination.
Holmes, I don't know what to say.
I would start with, I am Dr. John Watson, may I look around? The Edelweiss staff will doubtless be eager to show off their facility to a fellow physician. I have already taken the liberty of sending a letter on your behalf to request a visit.
And what of you?
I shall be pursuing other avenues. Should you see anything troublesome or improper, simply notify the local authorities. Otherwise, try a little analysis yourself. You know my methods. Apply them.
Salutations, madam. I am Dr. John Watson. I was wondering if you've got word of my visit.
Yeah, Dr. Watson. We received your letter on the matter. Would it be to see Professor Gygax?
At their earliest convenience, yes. I shall try not to take up too much of their valuable time.
Wait here, bitte. Mr. and Mrs. Bronson, your girl has made remarkable progress. See? Take a look for yourself.
My apologies for keeping you waiting, Dr. Watson. Surely you understand how medical work can make one lose track of time.
Do not be sorry, Professor. I too know the importance of closely attending to patients.
The work hardly stops here, yet the satisfaction of perfecting the mind compels us to persevere.
I take it you welcome many a soul into your establishment?
Admissions, yes. Visitors, though? I am curious as to what brought you to the Schwarzes Edelweiss.
Word of mouth. An article I read back in London spoke highly of your institution. But rather than taking its word for it, I thought I would see things for myself.
My asylum's reputation precedes it, then.
Everyone, your attention, please. Guten day. Yes, hi. Hello. The name's Amos Colby, Northwood Detective Agency, Boston. I got questions that need answers. Who's in charge here?
What seems to be the matter, Dr. Watson? You can tell me.
By Jove, it cannot be him. Right. Yes. I was surprised because that man is a celebrity. Yes, that's it. Very famous, Mr. Colby. I couldn't believe my eyes.
No. In my line of work, it can't wait. The longer it takes
If you wish to recuperate, Dr. Watson, you may avail yourself of the guest room.
But I have so much more to discuss.
Nurse, if you'd be so kind as to escort Dr. Watson to the guest room. Herr Colby, from Northwood Agency. How unexpected. I am Professor Gygax. I would be happy to answer your questions in the examination room.
Look, Professor, unless you got any clues as to the whereabouts of...
There is no need to be alarmed. No one gets neglected in
Now, let's not resort to brute force.
Do not worry, Herr Colby. My methods are rather more delicate. Search him thoroughly. Then take him to the holding chamber. I need to decide precisely what to do with our guest.
The unmistakable scent of alcoholism. Did you walk through their doors as I did, or did they collect you off the streets? The unmistakable scent of alcoholism. Did you walk through their doors as I did, or did they collect you off the streets? Truncheon, not the typical tool for a nurse.
You there! I command you to free me at once!
I'm not sure that's a great idea at the moment.
How dare you deny me? I must have my revenge against the lickspittles upstairs!
Fortunately for you, I'm here to stop the very same people.
You are?
Indeed. But first, I must discover all I can about this institution. Tell me, have you witnessed the arrival of any foreign patients?
Tell me. The gall. The impertinence to bark such orders.
Please, we don't have time for this.
Do you know with whom you speak? I am the great Napoleon.
Ah. Napoleon Bonaparte?
The one and only. Emperor of the French, first consul of the Republic, leader of La Grande Armée. Once I am free and have exacted my revenge against the guards who ridicule me, I shall rest happy in the arms of my beloved Josephine.
Right. Well, I will leave you to your scheming, Emperor.
My heart is pierced by Cupid. I disdain all glittering gold. There is nothing can console me but my jolly sailor bold.
A certificate of appreciation from the municipal councillor to Professor Becker for contributions to the development of medicine in Interlaken. A simple toolbox, yet capable of repairing anything. I can make out the names listed here. This photo was damaged, seemingly by oil. Looks like it's still operational. Cooking grease. Is this the kitchen dumbwaiter? Painting in a mental institution. Vogel would be delighted. R.G. Hill, Dr. Connolly. It appears that all the psychiatric classics were banished here. Speech and the Cerebellum by S.A. Becker. John Sallow, The Tulpa Phenomenon. I'm somewhat of an expert already. Tubes of varying diameters. Interesting. Any chemist would envy the quality of this equipment. The final product, ready to cure madness, or to push one deeper into its grasp. raw materials used to formulate medicine. With this equipment, they can create any type of medication.
What was that? Is someone there?
Very sturdy. I might borrow it.
I command you to let me out! I'm sure I heard something. My comrades in Paris shall hear about this.
This sedative worked faster than I expected. Perhaps I ought to train myself. Build up a tolerance.
Bye-bye.
I'd rather not sit in this chair ever again. I'd rather not sit in this chair ever again. Locked. I suppose the reception will be guarded anyway. There's the guest room. I wonder if Watson was able to speak to Gygax. Darn. No way I can get past him without being noticed.
Who's there? Show yourself.
This should suffice. This should be enough to avoid unwanted attention, at least from a distance.
Go away, or I will tear your lips from your skull with my fingernails!
Miss,
I'll gouge your eyes out and cut off your hands, just like you did to Heidi.
I am quite certain you would, but I'm afraid you have me mistaken for someone else. So, I take it your name is Gerda? Who is Heidi?
You talk strange. You're going to Hell's Door, aren't you? To where those other funny talkers finally shut up?
Hell's Door? To what do you refer?
Only Heidi had answers. Go away, pig!
I
said go, or you will spend your last moments on Earth screaming. This door won't stop me.
Fabric burnt in the furnace. Fabric burnt in the furnace. A jalabia, a traditional garment from northern Africa. The garments of several dozen people at least. So you're Heidi. I didn't realize I was on Haunted Doll Watch. So you're Heidi. I didn't realize I was on Haunted Doll Watch. Good Lord, how unsettling. The damage seems intentional. So this is how they kept the prisoners docile and harmless. An Orthodox reliquary commonly found in Eastern Europe, now in a cell halfway up the Alps. This stretcher was disinfected frequently. The doors can be opened for deliveries. The doors can be opened for deliveries. The doors can be opened. These are the same crates we found in London. I should take a closer look. Substantial blood loss. One poor soul found another way out. A bottle this sturdy doesn't break by accident. Dirt and sweat. They were locked in here for days, judging by the smell. I doubt that one could survive such a journey with this little water. Kidnappers even provided airflow. How generous. This is the same design as the one from London. This trip was prolonged and perilous. carriages were backed through these doors, and they began to unload their cargo in secret. Next, the crates were opened, freeing their passengers. Not everyone survived the journey. The dirty, exhausted, and dehydrated prisoners were then herded into cells. But all the cells are now empty, and I have not located a morgue. Time to find Hell's Door.
I will make them pay for what they did to Heidi.
I believe I have found your friend.
Heidi! Oh, poor girl. What did they do to you?
Shh. It's all right now. Everything will be all right.
Please, Gerda, now I have found Heidi, I need some help from you in return.
Shh, Heidi. We should thank the man, don't you think?
Tell me all you know about those funny-talking people.
We'd hear their screams. The guards would take them down the corridor behind you and they'd disappear. And the screams would stop.
Professor Gygax seems to rule this facility with an iron fist. Do you know anything about her?
She's sick. She did nasty things to us. Separated me and Heidi just for fun. Before she got here, this place was all right.
How did you end?
The nurses say I'm...
Have...
I remember too bad.
The stamp on this crate confirms it came from America. That's quite a distance to travel. Locked. I suppose the reception will be guarded anyway. Scratches. Something has been moved through here. This seems to be a locking mechanism. The whole thing must be a door.
Make them pay for what they did to Heidi.
Gerda.
How can you speak? She's...
Leave it with...
You're going to be good as new.
Manufactured and packaged here. This is the same narcotic substance that we found in London. Will this help fix your friend?
Give it to me.
How is she feeling?
Everything will be all right, Heidi. Everything.
Gerda, I have a couple of questions.
Yes,
Dirty little mouth, Gerda. You've said enough already. She won't speak no more. Now it's only Heidi. You helped me, and I didn't cut out your eyes. So we're even. Now go!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored, there will be consequences.
Hide. Hide.
Ask if
Heidi.
Ask
Hide.
Ask Ask
Hide.
Ask
Hide.
Ask
Hide.
Ask
Heidi.
I will make them pay for...
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask if
I found Hell's Door, but it's locked.
Hell's Door? Never heard of it. You're so...
Hide. Heidi. Hi. That's not true.
And you believe that snotty little girl? I'll personally ensure that she never dares to speak again!
Professor Gygax hurt you repeatedly, scarred your body, and you are not protecting Hell's Door. You are simply afraid of the consequences were I to enter.
I could tap your teeth out with a hammer until you choked on the blood and bits.
You could, but then you would live the rest of your life in fear of Professor Gygax. I can make that feeling go away.
How?
I can stop her. But the key, Heidi, the key to Hell's Door is critical to stopping Professor Gygax. And I think you know where it is.
Tell him!
But you said...
And now I say tell him!
The professor, she has a special key. Keeps it close and only brings it down when new people go through. Behind those closed doors, those people start to sing. Oh, they sing in so much pain.
Gygax. Of course. Thank you, Gerda. Heidi. I must leave.
Leave? You joke. Nobody leaves the Edelweiss. Now you will be with us forever!
At last! You came to your senses.
My humble apologies, Emperor.
Spare me your groveling, Englishman.
Of course. You are right as ever, for you see, time is of the essence. The Royalists have risen again, and your darling Josephine needs you. Paris needs you.
Mon amour.
But the guards upstairs in reception stand in your way.
Ha! They will pose no problem for the likes of me. Merci, Englishman. When I return to Les Tuileries, I shall make you a general.
Oh, you are too kind, Emperor. Now go. Your freedom awaits.
I am coming, Josephine. Josephine, me voilà. Catch him!
Psst. Watson. Over here.
Holmes? What are you doing here, and where did you get that outfit?
It is unimportant. I require your assistance.
What is happening, Holmes? I need an explanation.
It's quite simple. I created a distraction so that I could tell you something important, and in turn, I need you to acquire something important for me.
How can you call any of this charade simple?
Watson, we can discuss this later. Time is of the utmost importance. The kidnapped people may still be here. This is what I know so far.
What? You really found all this on your own?
Focus, Watson. I need you to find a key. It will be most unique. All the details are in my notes. Logic dictates that Gygax will keep it near her. Once acquired, you must get it to me. Perhaps the kitchen dumbwaiter could be of use.
Holmes, I can't do this. I'm no spy.
Yes, you can, Watson. You are unfailingly dependable.
Dr. Watson, visitors are not permitted back here.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kuntz. After the war, my nerves, I fled all that commotion.
It is nothing. A patient attempted to escape. He will not get far. Now, if you would like to follow me.
Oh no.